Hello, Meoni here, and welcome back to more stuff added in patch 7.2. This time, 4 framers kits that were added for the old deep dungeons. Eureka Orthos is the most recent, and with that was added a lot of framers kits and adventurer plates, which look really awesome. But in patch 7.2, they backdated both Palace of the Dead and Heaven on High, the old deep dungeons with things to get. To basically 2 framers kits each, which include portrait frames as well as adventurer plates. To get the Palace of the Dead ones, then you're going to need the Gelmoran potsherds. These are items that will be guaranteed to you when you clear certain floors. Any floor over level 50 up until level 100 are guaranteed to give you a Gelmoran potsherd upon completion. You can also randomly get them from bronze coffers if you're incredibly lucky, and then complete that floor set and then go to the vendor. You'll be able to spend them. For your first reward, then, you can exchange 5 of these Gelmoran potsherds, which are obviously obtained, as we say. If you've cleared the 50th floor in Palace of the Dead at least, you will see on the vendor Una Kotor the Deadly Welcome Framers Kit for purchase. There will also be another one if you have actually completed Palace of the Dead, all 200 floors, called the Deadly Descent Framers Kit, that unfortunately I cannot access because I've never cleared Palace of the Dead. I know, it's something we need to do. The main reason I never cleared it was because there wasn't a mount. Let's be very clear. But now there's this, I kind of want to go do it. So the first one then for 5 Gelmoran potsherds is the Deadly Welcome Framers Kit that immediately shouts to me Palace of the Dead. We have that sort of dull Palace of the Dead wall background for the actual frame itself, the actual plate. And then for the portrait, we have those chains on the frame and the accents of the brazier, and then we've got the border of the sort of stone, and then the background of a brazier in the background with candles, which is quite nice. But the really interesting one is for clearing all 200 floors of Palace of the Dead. You can access the Deadly Descent Framers Kit that looks like this. And quite honestly, that has to be one of the most sought after framers kits I now want. So I immediately want to go and complete Palace of the Dead with my friends to get this now. There is actually something, a carrot on a stick for me wanting to complete it. Or maybe I'll do it solo to get Necromancer as well. That could be good stream content. But as you can see, we've got a really nice adventurer plate with all those blocks, which you find in the later parts of Palace of the Dead itself, the later floors. And we've got that sort of jigsaw puzzle-esque floating blocks around the portrait as well, with a nice background. Again, portrait frames and adventurer plates, you mix and match these things to make something you want. These look absolutely gorgeous. I really need to go and get this one personally, but wow. So let's move on to the second set, the other 2 added in patch 7.2 that you can actually get with Empyrean potsherds. Now, Empyrean potsherds are obtained after floor 30 guaranteed in Heaven on High. So Heaven on High is the second deep dungeon added to the game. And effectively, if you complete the 30th floor, you will have access to the Confederate Custodian, this NPC in the Ruby Sea here. And you'll be able to purchase for 5 Empyrean potsherds the Victory on High Framers Kit that looks like this. And I think it's quite nice, actually. We've got this beautiful sort of pagoda-esque oriental design on the actual frame itself, which is really nice. I can imagine having my character using this quite a bit, actually. And then we've got this beautiful adventurer plate background as well, with almost like a mandala effect, that sort of circle in the background. It's really nice, isn't it? And the calligraphy on the side of a frame there with the accents. Absolutely gorgeous. And then the second one is actually for completion of all 100 floors of Heaven on High, which, if you have done that, the vendor will show you the Ascension on High Framers Kit that you can exchange 10 Empyrean potsherds for that looks like this, which honestly might be less interesting to me than the earlier one. I don't know. It's my own taste, my own preference. I kind of like the blue accents on the actual frame itself around the portrait, and those kind of like the Heaven on High blocks, which they made into a housing item, if you remember. It's kind of cool, but there are definitely bits I would use from that rather than using the entire thing. But yeah, how cool is that they went back and backdated things and actually gave us some items that a lot of people will probably want to go and do the content for. And that's all what this is all about, isn't it? Giving you a carrot on a stick. Now they just need to give us some meta achievements for completing all of them, and then I think most people would be happy with getting some sort of meta mount reward for doing all of them. That would be pretty cool. Or very annoying if you don't like this content. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know if you've got these yet. I think there's like a very small amount of people that know about them, and hopefully this video highlighted things that you might have access to, or maybe things that might prompt you to get your friends together and go back and do the old deep dungeons, especially if you're looking for something to do until the new patch content comes out. Much love, enjoy the rest of your day, more 7.2 and onwards content for 14 coming, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.